Welcome to the online sessions of the practical videos. So now in this session we will be going to discuss about the practical sessions in which the operation of the lathe, that is known as an chamfering. Now what do you mean by this thing that is a chamfering? Now we are going to suggest or we are going to look after this thing, that what do you mean by the chamfering operation. So what will be the aim of this thing? To perform any of the chamfering operation onto the lathe machine. Now, what are the apparatus we require? But naturally, the first one, that is the lathe machine on which we are going to perform this thing. That is the first one, lathe machine on which we are going. This is the machine on which we are going to perform our practical session. Now, the second comes, that is the V tool. V tool over here, you can see this is the V-shaped tool which is there, which is used. You can also use a single point cutting tool. That is up to us which tool we require, but a proper type of the chamfering is done with the help of this V tool. So this is the tool by which we can perform this chamfering operation. Material, which material? You can take the workpiece of any of the material, that is of any metal which is of the cylindrical in shape, that can be used easily, and the chamfering operation or any of the lathe operation we can perform easily on that type of the metal which is having a particularly cylindrical shape. So the workpiece, that is going to be the metal on which we want to perform this particular operation. Now the basic principle about the lathe machine, let us discuss that thing. So the lathe, now you all are knowing what do you mean by the lathe machine, that lathe holds the workpiece firmly and the workpiece is allowed to revolve. Workpiece is held in the lathe machine at a headstock between the jaws of the chuck, and then what we are going to do, we are going to rotate it very high speed. Now the cutting tool, what we are doing of the cutting tool is held firmly in the tool post, and then we are allowing it to move in any of the direction. Now what will be done? Tool is made to move in any of the direction, either parallel, inclined, perpendicular, any of the direction we are going to perform it. And what will happen? By performing this thing, the material will able to cut the workpiece. Now what is the main function? When your workpiece comes in the contact with the tool, it will remove the material, and as a result of which, due to this removal of the material, what will happen? We will get our desired shape and size. Whatever the material which we are removing, that is in the form of the chips. Whatever the things we are removing, that will be in the form of the chips. The material is removed in the form of the chips. And this is the principle by which we can say the tool, when it comes in contact with the workpiece, any of the operation of the lathe machine can be done. So this is the basic principle on which our lathe machine works. Now let us see about the thing, that what is the main theory behind this chamfering thing. So chamfering is the operation of beveling the extreme end of the workpiece. What we are going to do? We are going to do the beveling portion of the workpiece. The V-type tool is used for this purpose, and it is used to make the right angle corner into the curvature. So what will happen? Here you can see over here that whatever the shape, if the shape of the workpiece in this way, so there is a right angle which is forming over here. Many times what is going to happen? This is going to hurt the thing. So that means if this sharpened edge is there, and if it comes, so if you want to make it as a curvature, so if this thing, if you want to make the curvature, then this curvature from this right angle, if you want to make this curvature on the material, and then for that reason what we are doing, we are going for the chamfering operation. It will take a very less amount of time. So what will be the procedure to perform? Why? To remove the sharp edges of the workpiece. Cutting tool, V cutting tool, and as I told you, if you are able to do it with the single point cutting tool, then also it's okay, but a proper way can be done with the help of the V cutting tool. Which is the primary motion? The rotary motion of the workpiece is given, and majorly crossfeed, because your tool is in this way and it is going down. The workpiece will be here and your tool is placed over here, so it will touch the workpiece in the cross way. So that means feeding is done in the cross feed and you are at a certain angle, tool is placed over the thing. So in this thing you are using this V type of the tool. You can see over here the chamfering operation has been taken place. So your sharp edge corner has been turned into this turning beveling thing. Beveled shape is given to the thing. Okay, so now we will be seeing the procedure or how to perform this particular operation on the lathe machine. That means the actual working of the chamfering on the lathe machine we will be seeing. So now let us see the procedure of the next operation, that is known as chamfering. Now what do you mean by the chamfering? Chamfering means whenever the area, that means the outermost portion, whenever whatever the portion is there, if this portion is having an edge, cutting edge is there, if this type of the material is having an edge, to make it a curvature, the chamfering is used. So here you can see it is making a 90-degree angle. Sometimes this type of the angles we are not requiring. So for that particular purpose, if we want to change the particular thing, so from this 90-degree, if we want to make this as a curvature, our chamfering is required. For that chamfering thing, we can see over here the chamfering tool is placed over here. So this chamfering tool, with the help of this tool, we will do the chamfering over here, and this portion of the material will be in the curvature of the thing. So now let us see how this thing is done, the procedure or how we can operate this thing. So you can see over here there will be a curvature which will be seen over here. So this particular thing, that is known as a chamfering operation. So to make it a curvature, suppose you are having a bottle, water bottle, its base is always a curvature portion. Such type of the base what we require, that is done on the material with the help of this chamfering. Otherwise what will happen, your bottle, it is never having a 90-degree angle. So for converting it into the curvature portion, we always go for the chamfering operation. And this is how our chamfering operation is carried out on the lathe machine.